Ladies and gentlemen, I am back with another good, great, fun episode, at least as far as I'm concerned. And you guys know me and my mottos. I don't know how many mottos you're allowed to have for a podcast or in life, but you know me, one of them is I want to be either learning or laughing. And this episode, I should say, is filled with both. Dr. Susan Harrison is back. She's one of my favorite guests. She's one of my favorite people. She's so easy and fun to talk to. And we laughed our faces off. We learned some good things. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's both for you. And I don't want to say this is geared towards ladies because it's certainly not. However, Susan is really into helping women better their lives. And she has a whole program, like a life coaching program for the ladies out there. And I'm not going to lie, her price tag's not cheap, but anything worth it isn't, and you get what you pay for. However, because she knows that Neanderthal podcast females are just like a cut above the rest. You're a little bit different. You're a little cooler. You're not weak. She knows you're cool. She gives one hell of a discount to the ladies that listen to this podcast. So listen, find out how you can get that. Find out how significantly big of a discount it is. I was blown away that she told me that. And we just had fun overall. What a great, great, great time. I absolutely love talking to her. She has an open invitation to come back on the podcast. And if you haven't heard her before, get ready for a treat. I love it. I love her. And I love you guys. Episode 145, I think. We're getting up there. That's really cool to say. That's fun to say. Every week it's more and more fun to say with how many episodes I am. Anyways, I digress. Dr. Susan Harrison. And, follow her everywhere. That's all. It's easy to find. Follow me, Neanderthal Podcast. Like, subscribe, all that groovy business. I will see you cats later.
Welcome to the Neanderthal Podcast. We'll no topic is off. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Roy the Soul. Thank you for coming to the Neanderthal Podcast. Boom, shalak, boom.
One is boom, shalak, boom. And the other one, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, I don't know you can beat the first one, though. That's really
right.
good.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really
And
good.
the other one is this one. In 3, 2, 1. Boom, shalak, boom.
Wow, you're very fancy. I forgot.
How am I fancy? I hope you're being sarcastic.
You have such fancy phrases.
I'm a fancy mofo.
I'm almost always sarcastic, but
Yeah, I've noticed that.
But I don't know what you mean.
You don't know what I mean? About what?
Me, sarcastic? No.
Yeah, that's all you are.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I
I'm
can't
happy
believe.
to be here.
Yeah, I can't believe you came back.
After last time, I know it was such a bad experience.
No, I mean, it's just when like a professional or a professional real person comes back and returns.
Oh,
that means it's like, all right, I didn't, because not everybody understands what my podcast is before they agree to come on it.
Yeah, you had told me a little bit before last time.
I did, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to really check you out first because I might be like, nah, I don't know. But I love it. So,
yeah.
So I came back.
You came back. That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gives me some legitimacy in my own mind.
Anytime you want legitimacy, I am here for you.
All
okay?
right. Yes.
I will text you, message you on Instagram. You the real deal. Something like that, if it makes you feel better.
It makes me feel wonderful. Keep them coming. Like we said, keep them coming.
All right, I'm on it. I'm on it.
And this is funny. You're going to be, I've had weed people in lately and hip hop people in lately. So all of a sudden I'm switching it up to.
Whoa. Yeah.
To you.
To me. Yeah.
Who's your favorite local rapper?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I know.
But do you rap over there, Charles? Because if you rap, it's you.
Thank you. There it is.
It's Charles.
Okay. It's Charles, the Hassan Assassin.
It's totally Charles. Yeah.
Go check his YouTube videos out. He's got new videos dropped recently.
Yeah. So is he your favorite rapper?
No.
Okay.
But he's one of my favorite people. One of my favorite rapping friends.
Aren't you happy?
One of my
I put you
friends
on
that
the
raps.
spot?
I'll take that over.
No, I'm keeping it real.
I'll take that over everything. Man.
Yeah.
I
And
don't-
see, and
I
that's
don't-
one of the things I love about you, though. You do keep it real, and I love that because I like to be real. Yeah.
I don't know any other way. I don't know why people don't keep it real. Why people like try to fake the funk. I mean,
it's stressful.
yeah.
It's really stressful. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can try to lie your way through things, but then it's going to catch up to you, and I don't know.
Then you don't remember the lies. Gets twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to lie. Yeah, I did. I used to lie. And then I changed. I'm like, I don't like this. And I stopped. But I used to lie to make people feel better. You know?
I think a lot of that's just like a human quality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what most people?
But I don't do it anymore.
Okay, good.
I'm honest. It's like, don't ask me a question unless you really want the answer. Because I will tell you, yes, you look fat in those jeans.
Right.
I had a roommate got so mad at me. I didn't actually tell her you look fat in those jeans, but she's like, all right, I've got this pair and I've got this pair. Tell me which one. And I'm like, yeah, you don't look as good in that pair. Are you saying my butt looks big? I'm saying in that pair, your butt looks bigger. Like, so this is back when you didn't want a big butt.
I was gonna say, when was this?
Yeah.
Because make
Yeah.
that ass fatter, ladies.
Yeah.
Let's go. Get
Yeah.
that cornbread and squats in.
Yeah, now that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
But back then, it wasn't the thing.
This must have been before Sir Mix-a-Lot.
It was.
I know. He changed the game for booties.
He sure did. And I'm glad. That was awesome. But then he had to say skinny waist. And it's like, round thing in my face. I got that. But skinny waist, I don't know. I mean, yeah. It's hard to do both of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you got the women with the butt implants.
Oh, those are so awful. Those look like wet diapers.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, there's
Yeah?
some pictures of Kim Kardashian of, behind in a wetsuit or a bathing suit, and it just looks like a giant wet diaper just sagging there. That's not that good,
Ew.
She looks great with Photoshop and the right angles and all that,
Yeah.
that stuff, but I'm telling you, those injected butts, they're just, there's
So-
something called the Fibonacci Sequence.
Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, and it's like, how everything's supposed to be proportionate. And
Oh,
it's an
yes.
in nature thing. You see like pine cones, like have that circular thing, avocados, whatever, or not avocados, what's that? Artichokes, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And like our faces and bodies, when something's a little bit off, it's like, the sequence is off a little bit. If you see someone with like an eye is just slightly droopier than the other, or the nose is just a little too big, it's just like something's off on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you may not even pick up on it right away.
Right,
Like,
but your brain
something's not
instantly
right
knows.
there.
It's like, something. What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, the same thing happens with personalities too. You're like, something's not right with that guy.
Right.
There's something, I don't know what it is, but there is something off there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I'm not really good at that. I pretty much like everyone right away, and then it takes me a little bit of time, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I see it. You didn't see that? No.
Like personality things.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I can get suckered in really easily because I think people, I think the best of people. Like I'm like, why would somebody be a sociopath? Why would somebody be a lot? You know what I mean? Like I don't understand it. Like this is interesting. Since I've gotten, I don't want to. How should I phrase this? Since I got back into the single world, let's say after my marriage,
Yeah.
I've dealt with different issues of different people being just opened my eyes to these different personality disorders that I've never really knew that I was experiencing before, or started being more educated on it. Like different people in my life just all of a sudden were like, not all of a sudden, but I realized or had gotten entangled with these people that have major personality
Really?
disorders.
Really?
Manipulative, gaslighting.
Oh.
One person was just a crazy bipolar dude that stole a lot of money from me, just tricked me. I did just all kinds of.
How long does it take you to figure these people out?
Okay. I have to be careful how I answer this. for personal reasons. So
All right,
let me think
all right.
about. You put me on the spot. Okay, one guy. It took me a long time. I just got wrapped up in his. He was like a real. What I don't know. Just one of those guys that sucks you in. Like he's super. What was that? Just he can just suck people in. You know, he's like a hustler, very charismatic.
Yeah.
Very just can suck people in.
yeah.
Blah blah. Promises you the world. Blah. And
Yeah.
but then he's really just. He's a bipolar sociopath nut job when you understand who he really is. And like I always liked that crazy. And this was also I knew him for a while. I knew him at some point when I was married, and I didn't have a whole lot of excitement in my marriage. It was just kind of a boring, like she's a square, I'm round. Because I need to have some energy. I'm round. I can't hang out with no square.
You're more oval.
Yeah,
I mean, round
there we
seems
go.
kind of boring too.
Yeah.
You're definitely a different shape.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm shapeless.
Yeah.
I'm just all. I was with a square.
You're a
This is-
shapeshifter.
yeah, that's right. And
So
this
he
guy,
provided excitement.
He provided a level of excitement.
Got it.
And so I excused the crazy. I knew he was a little much, a little extra.
Gotcha.
And then after my divorce, and I was still friends with him, but then he's been on the podcast a few times actually.
Oh.
Like you can see how
Okay. Yeah.
just what this guy is like.
You still friends?
No, he stole. He owes me about $4,000.
Oh.
He almost. I
Yeah.
thought he was going. He's a bigger dude. Like he could beat the fuck out of me. Like really. And he almost did one day, just because he didn't like the way I looked at him.
Oh.
He felt
This
disrespected
reminds me of like
because
a
I
Joe
had
Pesci character. But
Yeah.
anyway, he felt
in
disrespected.
Casino.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
where he's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, yeah.
Oh man. So how do you get? I don't know if you can even tell this story, but it doesn't have to be specific to this guy because I don't want you to get beat up. But how?
Oh, he's gone. He's been out of my life for a couple years now.
Well,
so
how do you get him out?
I'm done with you, dude. I was like, I'm done with you.
And
like,
that worked?
There's no other, I don't know.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're never getting that money back. It's
No,
yeah.
and I had him dead to rights. I could have taken him to court and everything, but then I did think about, if I do take the court and win and get this, what kind of danger would that possibly put me in, and is that worth it?
That's smart.
Sucks, but it's a lot of money. I don't have
Yeah.
$4,000.
Do you want me to write you a check right now?
If you could, I'd take
Yeah.
it.
If I could, I'd keep it.
And then there was this other person that I was involved with for a while, and she is. We just had, it's just crazy, like a crazy ex-girlfriend, like that type of.
Oh,
But when you say that, people are like, "Oh, you're just being whatever." Oh,
No.
Women are crazy. No, this chick's literally, she's nice and great when I don't know, she's just got, the stories I could go down to tell you about what the things that she did are absolutely bonkers.
Really?
Bonkers.
Man, I wish you could tell stories, but I know you really.
I mean,
you really
I
should,
can.
but-
I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't put it past her if she would hear this. And
Yeah,
listen
you
to this,
probably
and then-
shouldn't then. Don't mess with crazy people. That's something we should all learn from movies.
Yeah.
You don't mess with crazy people.
But sometimes, you just get sucked, you get trapped for whatever reason. A lot of times crazy people get away with being crazy for whatever reason. Like there's a good reason that they've been getting away with it for so long. Mm-hmm. Either they're master manipulators or they're really beautiful, or they're charismatic, whatever.
Do you think that most of the single women out there are a little crazy? Or, I mean,
I've dated most of them, and yeah, they're all crazy.
because I'm
I'm just
wondering.
kidding. No,
Yeah. What do you think? Because I'm a single older woman, not like I'm 80.
or I don't think so. I don't think most women.
Good.
I don't think most women or single women are crazy. I don't think that at all. I think most women are. I don't know. I wouldn't put them in any kind of box. There's a wide spectrum of women, just like men. I think there's a lot of crazy men out there, but there's also a lot of guys out there that are good. I just humans are on a spectrum. I couldn't
Yeah.
put.
Well, that's good to know because I mean, whenever I date someone, I almost always hear, you're so different. You know, you're different than the other women I dated. And so that part of me just, when you said that, thought, is it because I'm not crazy? Is it why? Is that why? Or is there, I mean.
Maybe you're the crazy one.
You know, maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe. I mean, is it bad to call a guy at 3 a.m., 5 a.m., and 7 a.m. every day until we go out again? Is that wrong? I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, I don't do that stuff.
I'm starting to rationalize and thinking of reasons why that would be okay.
No, I think for me, I just like to have a good time. So, you know, and I'm just
Well, that's what every guy likes to hear.
well, and I'm just pretty open as far, man, I'm really digging a hole here. I'm just, I'm just kind of like me. I'm just open about what I'm thinking and feeling. The other day, okay, this is funny. So the other day I'm at this event and I just started talking about how my sister was making fun of me because my hair was receding, you know? And so I showed it to him and he goes, no woman does that.
Oh, yeah.
No woman would ever do that. He goes, I have never met a woman who has done that, like shown some weakness or something. And I'm like,
Well, you are a confidence coach.
yeah, that's right. And I'm very confident.
So,
but
like, check this receding hairline. I don't care.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So when I wear a ponytail, it's weird. But when I don't wear a ponytail, it's fine. And I think it'll stay there, but we'll see. Who knows? I could be the bald lady who, you know, goes on dates with a wig. I don't know, but I hope not. But now, ever since I did that with him, whenever he sees me, he's like, oh, hey, how you doing? You know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go out with you. You know, he's like, but you're so open and you're so different.
No, he likes the confidence. He likes the.
He was really into it.
Nice.
But a little too much because, no.
Yeah, so when you're asking if a lot of single women are crazy, no, but you do have to look for those flags. And that's things I've been realizing with not just women, but people in general. There are certain flags you have to look out for.
I'm
is
not
what
good
I've been
with
realizing.
those.
I'm not either, but I'm starting to like. I've always ignored them or excused them.
Yeah.
She's super hot. I'm gonna excuse that, or blah blah blah. Or he's super charismatic and fun, and he's not. You know, it's just whatever. Or hey, I almost.
Yeah, don't say that. tell
But
me
sometimes,
off the air.
yeah. There's one other person I really can't.
Well, you know, I dated this guy recently, and you know about this, so I won't go in too much, right?
Right.
But because I had asked you for a little advice, but he was just so awesome, like just wonderful. No red flags. There was nothing wrong with them. It just wasn't quite right for us. You know, I told you that. Mm-hmm. But just wonderful, and I don't know. I think I see more of that type of guy out there than the flags, but also I'm not good at flags. But after, you know, spending some time with them, I really don't think there were any, but who knows? Because I'm not good at it. And
You don't have that gut instinct. Do you ever get that gut feeling, that gut instinct with, something's different there, but whatever, and just like ignore it?
No, okay, so I get it with people. But it's usually something more obvious. You know, like I have a woman that I know who just like likes to talk to me really close up. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no. Or somebody that I know that, like I went out for coffee with this guy. It was totally professional.
Those are hard to do. A coffee date's really hard to do.
Well, it wasn't a date.
Okay.
It was really just a professional like introduction. And he talked the whole time, did not even like ask me one question about me or anything. Oh, I did do a date once. Okay, I got to tell you this story.
All right. Lay it on me.
So I have two sisters that play bingo, which I find hilarious. But anyway.
Older, younger?
I hate bingo. Older.
Okay.
So these two sisters playing bingo. One of them, for some reason, I'll have to tell you the whole thing. But anyway, she ended up with my house key. And so I get home and I'm like, well, I got to go get the house key. I know they're at bingo. So I go to bingo, find them, and I sit down. And this guy sitting down next to my other sister across the table is like, oh, hey, I'm Mark. You know, and you could tell he was into me.
That's
right
a red
away,
flag
right
away that he's playing bingo.
Yes. Right. So my sisters are like, hey, like I know not everybody can see me, but they're, you know, they're tilting their head like this guy would be great for you.
That's
He's
right.
wonderful,
All the
right?
70-year-old blue hairs are after this guy. Go get you some.
And he actually turned out to be my age, so I can't say anything bad about that, but the bingo part. But anyway, so he's introducing himself to me and all this, and I'm shaking my head to my sisters when he's not looking, like no. But they kept pushing him. So after, so he asked me out, like right there at the bingo table, which doesn't happen every day. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And so he says, hey, would you be interested in going out sometime? And I go, no, but thank you. Like, I appreciate you asking, because I think that men that ask out women that they don't know, and haven't been introduced to, I think they're brave. I know. So I like to.
That's tough to do.
It's so hard.
That's tough to do. Rejection's a son of a gun.
Yeah. And so there's been more than one time where I've said, I really want to applaud you for asking,
But no.
That's great. But no, I'm not. But I was at Hy-Vee, which I'll finish my story in a second, but I was at Hy-Vee. I worked there for a little while. I think I told you, I don't know, during COVID, I had to get out of the house. And I saw a sign at Hy-Vee, cashiers wanted. I'm like, yes. So I just had to be with people. And so they had me outside selling donuts because I'm just really outgoing. And, people walk by and I'm like, hey, you need donuts in your life. Or I love that sweater. That is so cute. It'd look better if you had a donut in it. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't really, that lame joke I never use. But I had others equally lame, but funny. And I just had a great time out there, just like putting on a little show, kind of got people to buy donuts. And so this guy.
That dress looks good. It'd look even better on my floor.
Yeah, I did not use that one. Yeah, interesting.
Well, try it next time.
Yeah. No. And so unless a guy's in a dress, and even then I definitely wouldn't do it. So this guy kept driving by in his truck, and he would, say, hey, I'd like to get some donuts or whatever. Hey, you need help working back there or whatever? I'd be like, sure, come on over, help me sell some donuts, right? So one day he pulls up and he's like asking me out, and I'm like, no. And so he, because a lot of these guys that asked me out at Hy-Vee were the kind that, they had teeth, but they didn't look like they should.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like.
Was this an Independence?
It was not. They were all really sweet, but I'm just like, no, but, so one day he pulls up and he's like, so you're never going to go out with me, are you? I go, no, I'm not. But I really do appreciate you asking. So, because you want to give them a little something, because I think it is really hard, and the men still do ask. So anyway, so this guy at bingo, I go home. And my sisters are texting me, the more we get to know him, the more we think that you're perfect.
Oh,
he does some speaking sometimes. He's a Christian. He does this. He's really outgoing. He's all these things that you are. And I'm like, I just don't feel it. Like, you can know right away. Like, no, this isn't happening.
You didn't like the way he yelled bingo. I get it.
I definitely did not. And anyway, the jokes I could have made there that we're both thinking. Anyway, so I get home and I'm seeing these texts and I responded something like, but then the next day my sister says, oh my gosh, did you have lotion on your hands? Because I shook his hand and I was like, I don't know, maybe. They're like, because after you left about 20 minutes, he had a reaction. He had to go to the hospital.
Oh.
Yes, an allergic reaction.
Oh, no. Did you have some kind of nut lotion or something?
I don't know what I had on, and I don't even know if it was me, but it happened like 20 minutes later, and he had this huge reaction, couldn't breathe. He had to go to the hospital. I'm like, this is what I do to men. So then I felt like I needed to go out with them. So I went out
your
with
fault.
them.
He's got a
I know. I was feeling really
allergy.
I know. I was feeling really bad, and so I let him take me to this Greek restaurant. It's like where you but it wasn't. But it was good. It's the one like where you walk up, you order at the counter, and then like they, number 23, and anyway, food is really good. So anyway, we sat there, and pretty much the whole time he talked and didn't really ask me hardly any
That's hard
questions
for you
about
because
me.
I'm
a talker.
You're a talker.
I am a talker, and I love the way you say that. But I am a really good listener, and I know when I'm beat. So I know when to just shut up and just listen, right? Because you say something about yourself and they move right away to them, then it's like, okay.
Nothing sexier than when a woman knows her place.
Again, you set me up for all these jokes, but I'm definitely not going to say any of them. So yeah, so it was nice. He was nice, and I was, and so about whenever I was about ready to end the date, I enjoyed listening to him. I mean, it was fine. It was a good evening, and I just said, okay, you know how I told you that in the beginning, I'm really honest and open. He goes, yeah. I go, okay, this isn't happening.
Nice.
And he said,
that's hard to do.
yeah. And I was really nice about it. It's not hard to do anymore because I've gotten used. I'm just like, because I don't want to lead anyone on, you know?
Right.
And so I just said, this isn't happening. And then he needed to know why. And I go, there's just no chemistry here. And he goes, explain what you mean. Like I had to really go into it. And so I had to explain to him. So anyway, it ended so well that he's like, I know this isn't going to go any further, but I just want you to know I'm really happy I met you. And that's how it ended. Well, sort of. He got a little creepy.
I was going to say, it never ends that easy with a guy like that. He seems a little...
It did. Yeah. He did say that, but then I forgot about this part. He then hugged me, like full on, and I don't have a tiny chest, let's just put it that way. And he made it very obvious in the hug that he was enjoying that a little much.
Oh,
yes.
my.
Yes. And then
my.
he's like, this is going to be really difficult for me, or made some kind of comment
gross.
like
Come on,
that.
dude.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I think we need to, I think I need to get out of here now. So he did end it on a creepy note, but before that, it was fine.
Just imagine if you had a couple drinks in him or something where it would have come out. Oh, wow, you dodged one there.
Yeah, we didn't go drink, but yeah, I'm sure he's nice enough, but yeah.
You're not a drinker, though, are you?
I have become, like, I drank before.
What did COVID do to you?
Like, when you knew me before, like, I make it sound like we've been apart, but, you know,
yeah.
When we first met, I drank basically Bailey's and a couple of other just light things. And, you know, and I still don't get drunk, but I have expanded. So I've discovered the peanut butter whiskey.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is so yummy.
That's an interesting one.
Oh, I love it. I know there's love it or hate it. I love it. And I kind of worked on being able to do a shot. So
oh, nice.
I didn't really know how to do one before, and then I was watching a show. I just couldn't quite. I'm like, nah, I just want to sip it. You know, I couldn't quite do it, and so I was watching a show, and these women were like putting it in their mouth and then swallowing it, you know, like that. And so I was like, well, maybe I could do that. So I was talking to this guy, that guy I dated, and I was like, all right, so give me a little lesson on how to do a shot, you know, which is so stupid. Here I am, 53, and he's like, well, here's what you do, and then you do this, and I was like, oh. Now it's fun. So I learned I can do 4.
You can do 4 shots?
Yeah, but that's
what you're saying. You don't get drunk, but you can do 4 shots. That's a lot of.
Really?
I think that's pretty.
Really? Wow! Look at me.
Yeah.
But I can't do
you're
anything
feeling good
else.
after 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was
yeah.
feeling good. I just, you know, I mean, I'm definitely feeling it. But,
yeah.
But not like.
Yeah.
You know?
You're drunk. You're just not. Crunk.
Maybe.
You got a nice buzz, a nice healthy buzz.
Yeah, a buzz. Yeah, I have a buzz. Maybe 3 is what I should do now after talking to you. But
well, just know that buzz driving is drunk driving. The more you know.
But I've enjoyed drinking, and I think I'm stopping for a little while because I don't know. It was just really fun where I would wake up and be like, man, later on I'd like to grab a drink.
Oh like, yeah, you're down the road of day drinking.
I'm like, okay,
yeah.
maybe I won't do that anymore. And I belong to this one club where on Wednesday nights we can drink for free.
Oh, what club is this? Can I get an invite to this club?
I'll tell you after. I'm not announcing it, but it's yeah. So we just, but it's not one of those where you're supposed to like, you know, really drink heavy. But it's just nice. You can go in and get a free cocktail, and and it's fun. So
you like cocktails now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like what? What do you like? You get any
mean,
adventurous? Do any?
No, probably not.
Just like margaritas and daiquiris type thing.
No. I don't like those. But more like let's see, some rum and some juice or something.
Oh, there you go.
I like that. And then, certain like really smooth vodkas are good, but I still hate wine. I still hate beer, and I'll never be considered a big drinker. Nobody's
Right.
going to be like, I remember one time I went out with this friend of mine. And this is before I discovered, that shots are kind of fun, right? But go out with this friend of mine, and the waitress comes up and she goes, "So will you ladies be having alcohol tonight?" And I go, "Yeah, we're drinkers." And my friend goes, "Susan, you are not a drinker." And I go, "What? I mean, I'm having Baileys with milk. I'm a drinker." And she's like, "No." But that's my friend who I think will drink like half a bottle of Jack Daniels with no trouble.
Whoa,
So,
she sounds
I
fun.
mean, she is a serious, yeah. I actually was talking to you once about meeting her at some point, but she's too old for you, and you're too young for her. So
You told me about. Okay.
yeah, but she's like, you guys would have so much fun if you were closer in age.
I don't know why you got to be like that. Age ain't nothing but a number, baby.
Everybody younger says that, by
I
the
know.
way. Just like people with a
I
lot
know.
of money say money doesn't matter. I've noticed that.
I've noticed that too. They also say making the first million is the hardest million to make. Fuck, it is hard.
It is hard. But they do but you look at it, these people that come from these wealthy families who maybe don't have anything like starting off, even like their dad cut them off or whatever, they can make money easier because they have this money mentality. So I think there is something to that attitude thing, but
Yeah,
I haven't
they
figured it
also
out.
It's also, the old adage of it's not what you know, it's who you know. If you grow
That's
up,
true.
if you're growing up around, millionaire parents, you're growing up around their millionaire friends.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. You got a lot
Yeah.
of contacts.
Yeah, tons of
Yeah,
contact, and then
that's true.
and then they all go to these rich people all go to some nice school, and then they join a fraternity or a sorority, and then they get more of those contacts. They're my father donated to the library. Oh, really? Well, mine added the new pool last weekend. What about you, moneybags?
Well, I was in a sorority, but I was. But we weren't like that, but I'm sure one of them is. Maybe I should start looking into my old contacts.
Yeah.
Ooh, but my daughter did go to really nice schools, and so there would be kids there. They would be like, "Yes, we're going to Europe all summer," and actually, right now she goes to LSU, and she gets that from
cool.
people she goes to school with.
I lived in Louisiana. LSU's fun.
Really? She loves it. She loves it.
bet.
It's hard, but during COVID was tough. So it's
Down
more
there,
fun
they
now.
didn't even have COVID down there.
Yeah, exactly. They still had all those parties online.
Oh yeah,
that you
there's
saw,
no
yeah.
masks down there.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's like Florida. It's just a bunch of rednecks, Trump country. That's like, whoa, fuck your mask. We don't believe in COVID.
Well,
Yeah.
at least for her, it was different.
Yeah.
And a couple her roommates got it, and yeah, it was bad. So, and then all the online learning, it takes away from the whole college experience. So
Yeah, it's a
so
bummer.
now it's coming back. So that's good.
I wish I got to go through some of my old podcasts, but I called it. I said this thing's gonna be basically over in June.
Really?
I called it a long time ago.
Wow.
I want to go find what I think I've said it a couple times in a couple episodes. I'd love to go back and try to figure out which one they were and just
That's like needle in a haystack finding one of yours because you do so many.
try.
But that's good. Good job.
Yeah, well, not really.
Nostradamus.
It's not Nostradamus. It's I don't know much history, but I do know. You learn from history, and if you go back through all the pandemics in the history of world, they last like 16 to 18 months. All of them do. So I don't know why this one would have been any different.
Nice.
June would have been right on that track.
I didn't
so.
even know that. See, you know stuff, man.
I know. I don't know much. I really don't. I just repeat things that smart people say.
I can't remember stuff. That's my problem. It's like, I learned that. And then I have to, get my memory refreshed. I'm like, oh, yeah. I know about that.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad because I know I've known so many people that just have this great recall just quickly. And maybe that's partly you.
I just remember interesting things, like things that interest me that I'm, I'm curious about a lot of different things. And if there's something that just, I don't know, spikes my interest level, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to remember that little nugget. But like, ask me to remember somebody's name like 15 minutes after meeting them. I'm like, I'm sorry. Wait, what was your name?
Yeah. Well, I forget things that people think I shouldn't forget, but they just don't matter to me. So then I'm like, I'm not storing that.
That's the thing. We have like this
care.
storage bank.
Yeah.
Like we can only store so much memory on our hard drives.
Yeah.
If I can
look it up, why do I need to know
There's
it
a lot
off
of
the
that
top
too.
of my head?
But I mean, our brains are like, what is that Dunbar's number?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're only really supposed to or capable of remembering like 150 people, like not even intimately, but just kind of know them or know their name or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you gotta make room for other stuff.
Well, now after this, I'm gonna try to write down 150 people that I know.
Yeah.
That's you might be my test for the day.
I don't even know if I know. Well, I probably getting close to knowing that number, I guess. This is going to be episode like 145 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, but I was on 2 times. So.
Yeah, I've had multiple people on multiple times. I'm not at 150 yet. But I do know people. I do know people outside of this podcast.
Yeah, I hope so. Nope, it's just the podcast.
It is. And then I know them for a week, and then they disappear from my life forever.
Do you make those friends when you travel, where it's like instant friends? So you don't necessarily keep up with them, but you're out like at a concert, like in a concert line. I make these concert friends, and they're my friends for the night. Did you do that when you're traveling too?
Yeah, I try to. Yeah, we got ghosted.
How so?
On our last, I don't know. I think they got a little too drunk and then just all of a sudden left. This couple.
Have you ever been ghosted in real life?
Yeah, sure. Like I do. I'm on that swipe life, app dating, like Tinder. But I haven't been on it in a while, but doing that for a while. Yeah, you go out with someone a couple times and then boom, they're just gone. Just gone. No text, not you're like, "Hey, what's up?" and then just nothing. No. It's like, "Huh."
As adults, I don't get that. Like as teenagers,
I get it.
College, it's like forgive the term, but man up. Oh my gosh. Like I tell them all. It's like
I would too. I would tell them, I'm like, "Hey, and they appreciate that. When you're upfront, like, hey, I wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been doing it. I just started, I don't know, a couple months ago. I thought, I'm just going to try this out. I tried this app. It's called Zooks or something.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a very popular one.
It's not great.
Did you try Bumble or Hinge?
I haven't tried anything else.
I would suggest, so Bumble is, it's just like any other, swipe right if you like them, swipe left if you don't. And if you match, the woman has to do the first contact.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do that if there's a guy that you match with and you're like, oh, I'd like to chat this fella up, see what.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Hinge is, because they each have a different mentality. Like people kind of have a different mentality going into these apps, I think. Like Tinder, I'm just trying to get laid. It's kind of what Tinder's mentality is.
It still is, because I thought that had changed.
I mean, it doesn't really.
Okay. Okay.
And then Hinge is more the mentality of, hey, I'm looking for something. I'm not just looking for, a fling. I'm interested in maybe trying to find somebody.
Okay, Hinge.
And I think that algorithm is based, at least it was, at least supposedly. What's that word? Whatever. Based on like your friends on Facebook or something like that. So it's kind of pulling.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I don't know how legit that really is.
I wonder.
But like that mentality is, a little more serious. So depending on what you're looking for, Bumble or Hinge might be the way to go. Or off air, say Tinder is. I won't tell anybody.
I want to get married again. Do you want to get married again?
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no.
Are you kidding me? Why?
I hear that from a lot of men, but I do. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you why. Because we tend to get screwed over by our ex-wives financially or whatever else. Like I can't go through that. I can't. I can barely afford to live now. Like honestly,
Yeah. Prenup.
I didn't know that then. Like,
Yeah. But you could do it now, so you won't get screwed over again.
I don't want to get divorced again.
No, I
just don't. I
yeah.
don't need to sign a paper with the government for my relationship. I'm not a religious guy. I think if you're a religious person, I think that's great. And if that's what you want to do it for, you want to do it for God, in front of God and the witnesses and all that.
And that's mine. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Do that. But that's not where I'm at. I'm like, I don't need, no.
See, this is one of the greatest things about you too that I love is that you're not judgy, because a lot of people, they think they're not, but they are. You don't think like I think, so therefore you're bad. It's like yeah, you want a piece of paper and you want to get married at your church or whatever. That's so stupid when you should just, it's like, it's not stupid because this is what I believe, and I'm not saying you're stupid for what, and you don't judge people.
No.
And I
Are you kidding me?
that about you.
Oh, thanks. I got no room to judge anybody. I know what I am. I know who I am. I got no room to judge anybody.
But no one does, and they still do.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you, that's a little check mark.
Oh, thanks. That's really sweet.
You're welcome.
You gave me goosebumps with that.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll give you more check marks later.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, I do want to get married, and there was a lot that I loved about marriage, and this time I don't think I'll be controlled, and I also
that's a good one. That's a major one.
I think I'm beyond that, and then also I don't know though. This one's
Are
a little
you?
scary.
You said you don't see those red flags. You can.
I know. I'm gonna have to have people telling me about that, but I do know
A master
specific
manipulator
things.
that likes to control people might find their way doing that.
Yeah, maybe
you.
so. Maybe so. And
Gotta
if I was wealthy, I would give them all my money. So it's a good thing I'm not. But I think that that I forgot what I was going to say, but it was important. I'm sure.
About getting
really
married
good.
again. You loved being married.
Yeah, I did. But I didn't love that stuff. And then also, a lot of the things that I did, I was trying to get him to like me or love me or accept me, So
Change him a little bit?
No, that
Okay.
couldn't happen. But I did try to change myself, and I tried to be what he wanted me to be. And so that is the only thing that I'm a little nervous about going into, because I really do like to see other people happy. I love that. And so I could see that I would slip into, oh, he likes this, so I'm going to do this. Oh, he doesn't like that, so I'm not going to. So I want to be really careful. At least I'm going into it with my eyes wide open, that I don't want to become like that again.
That's wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to stay true to yourself. And I think that's, one of the reasons why I am so blunt and honest with people and just true is because I want to, if I find somebody, I want them to know who I really am and accept me for all my flaws and whateverness. And I think that's important, or else you do get trapped in these relationships where you're trying to please the other person all the time, no matter what. And just there's, getting controlled, getting down that path of being controlled. It's just very, at least for me, I've been, like I said, these past few years just have been really eye-opening for me, and learning what I want and what I need. And being true to myself, because I think that's how you find true happiness. And if you do want to find a partner, a life partner or whatever, if that's like your goal, you're only going to be happy with somebody if you can be your authentic self with them. Flaws, warts, everything and all. Like no matter what, I can just be myself around you, not even worry about it.
Yeah. I remember when my daughter was young, I remember thinking, this is the only person in my entire life that I can just be completely me around.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's not the case anymore, but it was
Yeah.
like when she was young. I mean, now that she's older, it's different. But, little kids, they totally accept you for everything,
Yeah,
and
they're
so
stupid.
I was just, they can be manipulated.
That's right.
But I was just solely myself around her. And then he would come home and I'd be like, I wouldn't be myself. And so I have found this before. I dated a guy 3.5 years after my divorce, and he was like everything I wanted. And I could just be, who I was with him. But I know that that's what I want. That's just, it's like you. This is how I live my life. And so, yeah, during that 17 years of marriage, I didn't. But since then, I mean, that's just who I am. It's like, this is me. So you don't have to take me. You don't have to like me, and that's okay. But this is who I am. And so, I am one of these people who, and you've never seen me at an event, but when I'm at an event, I am just,
I've never been invited, Susan. That's not fair.
I'll invite you, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know what my next one is, but I'll invite you where I'm actually speaking. All right, so I'll invite you. But I'm very like, so excited because that's who I am at that moment, because I love being with people and I love teaching and I love speaking, and it gets me going. I love it so much. And so people who don't know me and only seen me in that atmosphere, I have to tell them sometimes, listen, I'm not like this 24/7. I can go home and chill, right?
Right.
Because I can see a man seeing me up there and thinking, that's a little much for me,
Okay.
right? But it's like, no, I can be very relaxed and, hang out and watch TV and it's not like I'm sitting at home going, oh my gosh, I love this show. The show is so awesome. I cannot wait for this show to come on again. I'm
Right.
not like that. But when I am doing something that just gets me so excited, I get really excited.
Plus, you got to punch it up a little bit. You got to get that energy up and like, hey,
It just happens though with
Right.
me. I mean, being around people, being in a group, but I
COVID must have been a nightmare for you.
Oh, yeah. That's why I had to go to Hy-Vee. I had to, like, the first 2 weeks, I thought, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great. Except for conferences and things like that got canceled. But other than that, I was so excited because I'm like, I can be at home. I don't have a ton of meetings, which I used to have a ton of meetings. I don't have to have all these meetings now. I can stay home. I can work on my book. I can just write. I can work on programs. I can get ready for when this thing is over. It's going to be awesome. No. Into 2 weeks, I am going insane. And so I'm just like, like jonesing a little bit, like, I gotta have people. So my sister's like, you want to go to the store? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I don't need anything. Let's go. And we broke all the rules, right? Because we're so risky. And we went to the store together, even though we didn't live together, and saw that sign. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And I just applied and had a heartbeat. So they hired me. And in 2 days, I was up at the customer service.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm a people person.
Right.
So, but before customer service, I was I'm the person that, most of your listeners probably would be like, okay, that is just too weird. But, I would be the cashier who, when I didn't have a line, I would step out and I would see somebody in the aisle down farther down, and I would dance and have a dance off with them.
Oh, nice.
And so I'd be like, your turn. And I'd like do a little move, and I'm such a great dancer. No, I'm not, but that's what makes it fun, right? So then I'd dance, and I'd be like, your turn. And they would dance with me, like these older people, elderly
you're like
people.
you're living in a commercial or something.
Yeah, and that's what I did. And
Yeah.
so they're like, let's put that energy behind customer service. So
Nice.
yeah. I did get one stalker from it, but just one. So I feel pretty good about that.
Whoa, what happened there?
He wasn't a terrible stalker. He was, because he didn't go to my house or anything, but he
Yeah.
would come in and I'd be like, oh, hey, John. That wasn't his name. I don't even remember his name. Hey, John. So what are you here for today? What are you getting? Because I had a feeling what he was getting.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, oh, I just came to see you. I'm like, oh, yeah, we can't do that. That's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So from then, I'm just like, okay, well, no more John. Right. But then, yeah. But I had all these older gentlemen would come up and flirt and stuff. And it was just fun to talk to people,
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great time. I'm not kidding. I loved it. Like, I would get up, or I had to be there at 7 a.m. And that's not me. I don't like to go be anywhere at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But I would get up. I'd be like, yay, I get to go into work. I couldn't wait, right? I was so excited. But eventually I went to work in an office for a little while because I still am like, I have to be around people. And then I'm like, you know what? It started actually in March. March 1st is when I was like, I need to go back and just speak and coach. I know that I need to keep working on my business. So I am supporting myself solely on my speaking and coaching.
Whoa.
I don't have any other gigs, any
How
other
do you
jobs.
do that? How can I do that? How can I
Yeah.
do that?
Well, I'm barely making it, but I'm making it.
Right.
I'm doing it. I am supporting myself. It's so exciting. So I have like a coaching program where I get women signed up. I have a group that I'm doing right now, and then I have one woman that I'm coaching on stress management. They're like 8 weeks, 6 weeks. And
You primarily teach
yeah.
women, coach women?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my speaking is for men and women.
Okay.
So I haven't done a ton of speaking. I need to actually really work on that and start reaching out to some companies and go out there and motivate their employees, because I love
Is this the kind of
confidence
speaking you
coaching.
do? Confidence coaching? That's for like employee, like businesses and
No,
companies, or
no, for companies I do more communication skills like conflict management and how to
Okay.
deal with different kinds of people and that kind of stuff. I love that. Customer service, anything on how their employees can deal with people, how managers can supervise better, and how they can get more out of their employees, or how employees can work better with their bosses. That kind of stuff is what I do for companies.
wow.
So it's really fun. I love that so much.
Do you get feedback after you do that managers and or employees have implemented your coaching and things have changed and made it better? Because I've worked in some corporate gigs and worked with managers that have been awful, and a lot of times it seems like they're not interested in hearing that kind of stuff. Or same with the employees. They're like, oh, this is just a little dog and pony show. We'll just get through this video or whatever and then move about our lives like nothing's changed.
Yeah, so I make light bulbs go on. That's my thing, because I'm not there as a speaker. I'm there as more facilitation, but speaking. So what I do is I give it to them straight as well. And so, I have this in mind where, for instance, in this group, and it's usually a smaller group, maybe 10 employees. I do it up to 60, but I really like it when it's a smaller, because you can really get into what they're doing. So I knew that this one woman in particular, this is just an example of many times I've done this. This woman in particular, I could tell that she was not good at managing, but she thought she was.
Oh, yeah, they're the best.
Yes. And so I just remember, talking to her about things, and she would say, well, here's what I do, for example. And I'd be like, well, you know what? Actually, here's why that's not going to be effective. But you have to build a rapport with them first.
Right.
So you have to get them to trust you. You have to get them to see that you really do know what you're talking about. And you do this through examples, and you do this through understanding people. And which is funny, like in my relationships, I may not see the red flags, right? But when I'm coaching and teaching, I can see it, right? So I need to just apply that. I'm just thinking about that. You really make me go deep here. But, it's like, so I start talking to her, and then I do some of it, with everybody. And then some of it, I just sit down with her, the real serious stuff. And I'm like one-on-one, like during a break. And I'm like, all right, let me give it to you straight. Here are 3 things you need to do. And she'll be like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. And you can really see these light bulbs go off and these changes they're going to make. And then whenever I go back, and then you start seeing some of these things implemented, but you've got to get through to them first. And you can always tell those hungry people that are in there, they're like, oh, no, I want to change. I want to grow. How can I get better? And then you can tell those people are like, eh. But most of the time, whenever I have those people coming in and they're like, another person, this is going to suck. Then afterwards, they almost always come up to me and say, I thought this was going to be awful. This was amazing. Nice. And I learned so much. And so you make it entertaining, you make it fun. And then, I just, like I said, I'm just really open. And so I'll just say crazy things, and they're true, but it's like whenever people are like, I can't wait to hear you speak tonight. I can't wait. And I'll say, I know, I can't either. I wonder what I'm going to say.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Right? Because it's organic. I mean, I go in knowing I've got a plan. I know some things, but it's always changes, and it always depends on the audience and, what they ask. And so I do a couple of different things. So I'll go in where I actually speak, where I do conferences and things, and I'm their speaker, right? Their headliner or whatever. So I'll go in and I'll speak. Well, obviously I've got 500 people in front of me. I can't delve into, I see how you're looking at me, right? So I just have to do this broad thing, and I'll have maybe table discussions or something, but that's different. And I love doing that for the paycheck. Like, I enjoy that. It's fun, but the money's better. But what's more fun is making those changes in those companies and really, really making that difference and pinpointing, okay, this is that type manager, whatever. Not that long ago, maybe, I don't know, now with COVID, everything's weird, but maybe 2 years ago, pre-COVID, I taught at a bacon plant near here. And I taught
bacon plant?
Yeah, bacon plant. Bacon and sausage. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And I taught their managers, entry-level managers, how to interview people. And we just spent the whole day learning how to interview. And so putting them in these situations where they actually had to interview each other and had to ask specific questions. And
oh, I hate that kind of stuff. That role-playing type stuff.
Yeah.
I can't get down with that.
Oh, it was
not outside
fun.
of the bedroom anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Hey-o!
Oh! So, yeah, you got to make it fun. And so I go around and I would, So, yeah, because sometimes those can really suck too. So my job is to make anything that people think of as not fun normally.
Make it fun.
Fun, yes.
Hell yeah.
And that's just who I am, man. I'm fun.
You are fun.
Yes, and remember we talked about this later where I said I'm not really fun on paper. And you're going, well, I'm fun on paper and off paper. I'm like, I'm not really fun on paper, but I am fun in person.
Yeah, I can't remember all my wonderful jokes. I've had so many. How long have we gone, Charles? 53 minutes. And that's my time for my bladder to say, let's take a break real quick.
All right. That's awesome.
Huh?
That's a new record, actually, too. It's usually about 40 or so.
Yeah, I've had a pot of coffee, and I'm just sick of holding it anymore. Like,
yeah.
when it comes time on the podcast for me to pee, I'm just like, let's take a break.
Streams.
This time I'm going to have you hit stop
Rivers.
recording just because there's a lot of thunder outside. In case this
Water.
goes off, I want to at least have this part saved. And we're back on. It's not that it would take, I don't know. It's part of it's, probably a little bit of fear on my end, thinking I won't make, you know what I mean? Like, you're really putting yourself out there. Like, all right, I'm going to actually put this on Patreon and see if people will pay for it. And not that I have a big ego at all. I would be surprised if I would have any people that would subscribe and pay for the podcast and make, I don't know. I just, it's one of those things like, I don't know. Maybe I did get punched in the gut when I did this, this, what is that? That showcase, that show that I put on, that live event that I put on. It was lit. It was fun. It was great, but like hardly people showed up. And I had a ton of people saying they would, and I was expecting a nice, not full event, but a lot of people there, and just like a handful of people there. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I don't know.
It turned out good, bro.
Yeah, I know it turned out good. I know people that showed up had an amazing time, and some good friendships and collaborations were made. But still, as the host, putting on, I don't know. It was I don't know. So part of me is like, maybe that's why I haven't gotten off my ass and putting this on Patreon. Is just, I don't know. One, I'm a procrastinator. Big time. I need to figure out. I need to be better at life. I do. Like, I don't know.
I will start texting you every day if you want.
I do. Like, if you would, I don't know. Like honestly, there's just so many things I want to change and be better about, but just, I'm not disciplined enough. I don't I don't know. I don't know what to, I'm not going to blame it on anything or make excuses.
I'm not disciplined.
But I have no discipline and
it.
no, like, I don't know. Like, it takes everything in me to get this podcast out every single Monday. Like, that's it's
really good though. I mean, seriously, that's discipline.
I know, and this is the only thing I've been like that disciplined, and it's, I don't want to say it surprised me, but it's not easy either. Like, it's like I don't know if a lot of creative type people, and I'm not saying I'm that creative of a person, but I'm in that kind of realm. If they struggle with getting it out, I don't know, I don't know. Like, I
think it is the creative curse. I'm creative
or not that,
too.
not that. I guess I meant the creative curse of also, like, a lot of times I get in my head like, just stop doing it. You don't need, no one's listening, no one's watching, no one cares. Like, I get into my head like, what's the point? Like, I can just, like, would anybody care if I quit this? Or like, who's really listening? Is this that big of a, like, if I just quit, what's the big deal? Like I get that a lot of times. Like I don't know what it is. There's just like this little monster at the back of my head that constantly is like just feeding me little negative energy. Sometimes I got to constantly like battle that thing. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so if you can visualize it, because this is what I did as you were talking, visualize it as like a little green monster, or you make it whatever color you want, okay? Because you don't want to make it the jealousy guy. So make it this little monster, and then like picture like you've got a lightsaber and you're like knocking it out, you know? It's like, you're out of here. You know, like think of it as something physical. Like there's something physical that's actually like speaking into
I kind
your
of
head.
do, but
It's
it's
like,
I kind of do this visually. I push
Yeah,
my hand
perfect.
down, like I push him back. Get away.
Yeah.
I stiff arm him. Good call, Charles. I
arm.
stiff arm
Very
this guy.
good, Charles. And then you got to, but then next thing you do is something right then. Like you can't just stiff arm him and do nothing.
Oh, see, that's what I do. I
Yeah.
do that a lot with a lot of my emotions too.
Yeah, so stop it.
Those are two hands.
Stop
so
it.
Push those things down. Push. Get out of here.
So you got to deal with them first, right?
I think I
You
just
got to
pulled a
deal
muscle.
with them. And then
The emotions are trying to tell me something. Stop pushing us down. Get out. Oh my God.
you got to get them out. But then once you deal with them, then you got to push them away, you know? Because
Okay.
it's like you got to deal with it. But, you know, the thing, let's say in third grade, you made a girl cry and you keep thinking about it, you know? You got to be like, listen, I've dealt with that. You're gone, right? It's stuff like that. But if it's something emotional that you really need to like process it. Get a piece of paper out. Why do I feel this way? And start doing these diagrams of, okay, here's sadness. Why do I feel sad? Well, because my mom told me I was a loser when I was 3 years old or
My
whatever.
mom would never do that.
Of course not. Mine neither. See, we love our moms. So, you know, but whatever it is, you just kind of make these lines. You start working through it and you start processing in it and then be like, all right, well, I've already, you know, actually, now that I think about it, I've already actually dealt with that one. So I'm not going to let that bother me anymore. Because I think what we do is we let people and things and emotions rent space in our head when they don't have a right to that. And so what happens is for me, I learned how to kick them out.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
learned
thinking about
this.
going to them and actually charging them real money.
Then
Like-
we would be rich.
Like, dude, I cannot get you out of my head. I hate you. I'm arguing and starting pretend fights with you every day in this stupid rental space. You have to start paying on this, bro. Like,
Okay, I already figured out your problem. Are you ready for this?
okay.
Okay, it's rumination.
Okay.
That's your problem. So what you do is you have a thought, like you see your poster and you think, man, I wish people would have out of here, right? So
I'm over that now, but it did
that's an
affect
example.
me. Yeah.
But it's an example.
Uh-huh.
So you start thinking about that guy who owes you money or whatever. And so instead of thinking, oh man, why didn't I do this or whatever, you stop. Like as soon as you have that thought, because you can't help that, you're going to see stuff. You're going to be driving and think of something. You automatically say, no, out, right? So and
I
this,
spiral.
and it works. So you ruminate, and then
yeah.
you spiral. So what you
Oh,
have
I'm
to
a
do is
spiral
stop
king.
it.
Oh
So
my gosh.
stop
I'm
it.
an MC E.C. Escher, whatever that artist's name is.
I don't think that was
man.
it. But
That's what I am.
so, but you can stop it. You have control over your own mind.
I do.
You do. You control here. You don't control what comes in right away because we can't control that. But you can control how long it stays, so you don't start thinking about it. But this thing, no.
I sometimes feel like I don't have control.
You do though. And that's your problem. You don't think you have control when you do have control. You don't have that immediate control of the thoughts that come into your head. You can't stop
I'm very
that.
impulsive too.
Yeah, well that okay, that's a different topic. Don't switch on me right away.
I told you I'm a mess. I'm like, I need help. Help me out.
Okay,
I
first stop ruminating.
stop ruminating. God, that's easier said than done. Like I said, I'm a ruminate. Yeah.
Listen, it's a practice, but you do it. You can do it. It's a practice. It's a technique. You just start doing it. And the only reason why I know is because I was a big ruminator over my divorce, right? What is he doing with the mistress? Which, by the way, she will always have that name. What's he doing with the mistress now? What are they saying about me? What la 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 la. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I don't really care. Like, I
Right.
care, but I don't really care.
Right.
So why am I? It's like torturing myself, self-torture.
Good luck, idiots.
And so then, and they didn't have good luck. And so I'm just like, you know what? He doesn't deserve the right to have rent in my head anymore. So of course something comes up, you know, I get a call or something, or I see something and I think immediately of him. Well, instead of then thinking about him, I just stop it. It's like, okay, now I'm on to the next thing, and I kick him out. And it took a little while, but practicing that, oh my gosh, changed my life. And now I do it with everything. I can do it with anything. I don't have to ruminate. And you don't either. You just have to start stopping it. I actually call it a stop it technique, like stop it. You know, so initially what you can do is you can do something physical. So physicality is big, but then also use the verbal. So you're like, stop
Punch something?
it. You could punch something.
Get a punching
but
bag?
Not Charles.
I would never punch Charles. Are you kidding me? I would never do that.
Never. No, you really punching something's not going to help you.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It seems like it would, but it just really builds up more anger. So stop it. Any kind of a stop it. And
Just
now
stop it and hug something.
No, you don't even have to do that.
Okay.
But then what I do, but you can hug a tree if you want. But then what I do is then it's like I just start. Now I'll be in the grocery store or something, and I'll think something bad, and I'll be like, stop it, like you're being ridiculous, you know. And I just kind of get onto myself a little bit. So you can do that for real. Okay, because I did it. I'm living proof, man.
How did you do it? Did you have someone help you do it? Or
No.
you just on your own said, figured out that I need to just say stop?
Yeah.
I think we might have
figured it
talked
out.
about this last time.
We may have, and I see that it worked for you. No, I'm just kidding. But it's lately.
Like
that-
I've gotten better with certain things. Like
Yeah.
and maybe that's not true. Maybe I've just gotten certain aspects that have happened to me that I've gotten over. But if something will happen, I'll start ruminating over something.
Yeah.
I will. I get.
Yeah. And it's
I don't
the
know.
rumination that
It's-
gets
you know what
in
it is.
trouble.
It's yeah. But it's because I hate. What is when something does you wrong. Like I hate that when I
Unfair.
yeah.
Me too.
I hate it. Just drives me nuts. It's like this just isn't fair.
Yeah.
Like some things that are happening in my life, if I'm being open and honest, they're just not fair. I've been done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gets at me sometimes. A lot of times I just don't think about it, but then it will come up. I'm like,
But then the next line is, I can't
stop.
fix it.
I can't. Well, you're right.
I can't fix
So
it.
stop.
So stop. But the first part is that where I said you have to deal with things before you can do the stop it thing.
Okay.
So the very beginning, whenever you're like,
Well, now this is getting even more complicated and difficult. Now
no, you have to deal with it and then you have to stop it.
Well, how do I deal with that? I got to talk to a professional. To deal with. No?
Not
Okay.
necessarily.
Okay.
You don't necessarily. I mean, of course you can, but we know that, financially, let's try to do it on our own. First, here, some people I would not say that to, but I'm saying that to you, okay? In case anybody's listening, like, yeah, I don't need to pay no therapist. Okay, maybe you do out there listening. But for you, so the first thing is that really bothers you that you were done wrong. And so you have to be like, okay, well, I can't do anything about it. So now you've just dealt with it. Like, it doesn't have to be a huge, I got to deal with this thing. It's like, okay, I can't do anything about it. So then your next step is when it comes up, stop it, because I can't do anything anyway, right? It's just stop it. Why think about it when you can't help anything, when you can't change anything? Yeah, it's not fair. Tons of things have happened to everyone that's not fair.
Right.
But you can't fix it. It's over. Move on, man. Stop it.
All right.
Yeah. And it is that simple. It's just not that easy. But it is simplistic. But you just got to keep at it. You've got to say to yourself, enough is enough. You know what? I am tired of living like this. I am tired of giving control to, I'm going to name somebody, Cynthia. I'm tired of giving control to Cynthia. I'm not giving control to her anymore. I'm taking it back. And then you make that decision. That's what you're going to do. And your life will change. It changed my life. I mean, I have so much more peace. The stress is so much lower. I'm so much happier, so much more joyful. I mean, that I don't let other people rule me and what kind of life I'm going to have. And that even goes with the men and women, but mostly men, who are driving in traffic and the traffic's bad and it makes them crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, can you control those drivers? You can't control them. I don't get upset at bad drivers. You know, it might be for a second like, whoa, I'm so glad I'm alive. You know what I mean? But it's not like I hate you. It's like, I'm glad I'm alive, right? It's just a total twist of you, bad driver, you don't get to rule my life even for 15 minutes. You know, I'm in control. Me. And you can too. There you go. I'm off my soapbox now.
I need you on the soapbox. I need someone on a soapbox to whip me into shape, you know?
Well, most of us let other people control our lives. We just do. And we let others control our feelings, our thoughts, our emotions, our actions. You know, we do things to please other people, to make them happy. We do things because that's what I'm supposed to do. You know, we feel a certain way because we don't like how someone thinks. And it's like, okay, I cannot like that now. Move on, right? You know, we just do too much of that, and I was tired of it, so I made some changes.
Do you struggle with that being? Do you struggle with the idea of that being selfish?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Because
I'm not saying it is. I'm just
yeah, it's not at all.
because I think that's why some people don't do that, is because they think they're being selfish, and so they want to help the other person or cater to the other person because, oh, maybe that's selfish. I'm just worried about my feelings.
Well, there's a difference too between letting other people control what you do and what you think and all of these things.
Good point.
Than just doing something because you know you should do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I was talking to a group of women and I'm like, hey, we are too old to be doing stuff for other people we don't want to do. And I said, wait a minute though. That's not entirely true because you still need to be a good person. So you know what? I don't feel like visiting my mom. So what? You go visit her, right? I don't feel like paying for these groceries. Well, so what? You still pay for the groceries. You know, we have to do things because we're adults and we have to be good people. It's just that we don't want everybody to rule what we do. You know, there's a difference between, okay, I don't really want to do this, I'm going to do it anyway, kind of thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So you have to make those decisions of how you really should act and behave, but it's about other people having that control like you're their puppet. And we let too many people be our puppeteers.
Yeah, I was a puppet for a while. It sucks when you realize you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just
hard.
Stop it. Like I wouldn't. That's like almost something like when you're explaining to me this whole thing of basically when a negative thought or whatever comes in, you just say stop it. Like it almost makes me want to get like a tattoo on my hand or finger that just says stop it.
Yeah.
Just to always remind you, like, just, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Something negative.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Right. Stop it. You can't do anything. It's like me wishing that I was 6 foot tall. You know, that is not, I mean.
Sound like CeeLo. Who was that again? I was going to say CeeLo, but that was something else.
Yeah, sorry.
What? Oh, I wish I was a little bit taller. Yeah! I wish I was a baller.
Yeah!
I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat. I was a 6 foot baller.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, that's one I can even sing with. But yeah, so trying to change the past of what happened to you or what someone thinks about you or anything like that is as easy as me changing myself to become 6 foot tall. I can't do it. Mm-hmm. You can't change that stuff either. But we ruminate and we think about it and we relive it. And what good is that doing? Absolutely nothing. I mean, it's just doing as much as me stretching every day because I'm going to get to be 6 feet tall.
Well, not only what is it doing good for you, you're right, it's not doing any good. In fact, it's harming you. At least I know that it harms me. Like it harms
harmful.
My soul. It harms my... Yeah, just my I'll get anxiety over it, or I get over it, and it just affects my heart and my soul, if there's such a thing, and I can just kind of feel it, you know.
Yeah, it pulls you down. It makes you not as effective.
Your energy, your negative energy, your negative vibes, just kind of.
Yeah, and life is not as fun.
Right, life's not as fun, and then and also. You know, negative people or who are negative. I'm not a negative person, but like when I get in a negative rut or mood or whatever, that affects other people, and then it brings them down. Like that energy brings them down. It's just, I don't want to do that. I want to bring positive energy and positive things everywhere I go. I want people to be happy and happy that I show up. Now here's this
loser
complaint. Yeah, loser.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when I learned all of this, it was like I got rid of 50 pounds of baggage off my back. And I just like almost literally felt lighter.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just like I can breathe now, and you know, and it's okay what happened to me before. It's not great, but it's okay. And you know what? This even goes to recently I upset somebody really close to me by sharing some truth. And it was really hard for them to hear, but they needed to hear it. So I just knew it was time. I had to share it. And there's a lot of tears. It's very, very painful. And afterwards, I felt so guilty for making this person just break down. And then I thought to myself, I couldn't sleep the whole night, but then I woke up and I thought, you know what? It's okay that she's upset. It really is okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just lightened me up. And I'm like, yeah. And then if any heaviness came throughout the day, I was like, it's okay. Because it is okay sometimes if people get upset.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
okay. And then, you know, I remember this one guy I said something stupid to at some networking event. And I was like, what an idiot. And then it's like, you know what? It's really okay. It's okay that I said that because I can't take it back.
Yeah.
I can't do anything differently. You know, I was trying to be funny. It wasn't funny. It was stupid. And I'm like, you know, so now whenever I think about it, I use it as something to teach people, but it doesn't make me feel bad. It's like, oh my gosh. So I share these things with people, the mistakes that I've made, because it's like, hey, you know, it's okay because it's over. It happened. I can't change it.
Would you ever think about with your public speaking and your energy and all of your stories, would you ever think about being a comic, like a stand-up comic, trying that?
Yeah. So I went and I did an open mic night.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun, right?
Yeah. So I teach people, get out of your comfort zone, go do something. And I say, get uncomfortable, go get uncomfortable. And I try to get uncomfortable every day. Every single day, because it's just like that's life. Like that's like like it makes me happy.
Wow.
Because you
adrenaline. You get adrenaline
yeah,
when you do stuff
you
that
do. It's so good.
adrenaline junkie you are.
Yeah, I love it.
Look at you.
Sort of. I mean, I don't
got
like
it.
roller coasters. That
All
kind
right,
of
there's
thing,
different
but-
kinds of adrenaline.
But yeah, I do. I like it. And so, but I know what it does for me. And so I have other people do it and they're like, yeah, this is good. Right. Because you're a little bit like, should I? I'm doing it. Right. And then you do it and you're like, I did it. Feels so good. Even a small thing. So now I don't know what were we talking about right before that? You're so good at
Comic
memory.
book.
So anyway,
I mean a stand-up comic.
Yeah. So that morning, I'm like, I've been thinking about it for a long time. So that morning, I was like, I'm going to do it. So I just posted on Facebook and I said, hey, I'm going to be an open mic night tonight if anyone wants to come. And because once you put it on Facebook, now it's real, right? I got to do it. And so I had people.
Nothing's real on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, whenever I say I'm going to do something on Facebook, I have to do it because my followers will hold me to it, right? So then
Look at you. You got followers.
I do, man. I do.
Dang.
I have some fans too,
Nice.
which is weird. Go into a place occasionally, like hardly no one knows me, right? But I go into some place and I've had it happen where it's like, are you Dr. Susan? I'm like, yes. Oh my gosh.
I've seen you on TV.
I've got your book. Will you sign it for me?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've had that happen, which is cool. So it's pretty rare, but it's still, you know, somebody knows who I am. So anyway, so I wrote out the stuff and I had some friends come and I got on stage and it was fun, but it wasn't as fun as I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really, really fun. And maybe it would be if I did it more, but I was just like, okay, I did it, you know? So I've thought about
It's
it.
probably, I don't know. I would think maybe it wasn't as fun to you because you are a public speaker. And so, like, that doesn't really maybe hit that adrenaline spike for you. Whereas someone who never gets up and speaks in front of people, when they get on a stage to do open mic, that can be pretty nerve-wracking.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
It was scary for me, but you're right. It wasn't as scary. And then the other thing I think that is good about me is that whenever I'm a speaker, I don't have to be funny. but I am. And so I would rather people be surprised that I'm funny. And so whenever people introduce me as, oh, she's so funny, you're going to love it, I'm like, crap. Like, there goes my whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I want people to be surprised that I'm funny. So when you go up there as a comic, you're going up there saying, I am coming up here because I am saying I can make you laugh.
But you can. I'm just thinking, like, for another avenue of you, to make some money, like, you'd be a good, like, Christian comic, touring comic. Like, you go to different churches and be a comic and get, like, those church comics, they make some kizash.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I do like.
I don't know. You got
laugh,
a lot of irons and fires. So,
but I really need to get more into companies. I mean, I need to figure out a way to make more money, and it's not really figure it out. I'm kind of like what you like. I have this success blocker, and people wouldn't think that I would, because I am a confidence coach, but the way that I am a confidence coach is I teach people to be where I am. They don't have to be like me, but to be up to where I am. If somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I've got $1 million company, but I need confidence to make it a $5 million company, I would say, I'm not your person, right? So I coach them on getting up to where I am. So I still have this success blocker, and I still have problems with that of okay, I know I need to be putting together this proposal for this company, but I don't know. So that's one of those things this next week I'm hoping I actually get done. I've already talked to a friend who's going to take the pictures and arrange it for me. Now I got to make the copy that I can start sending to companies. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm making some strides.
What kind of, just any kind of company that has managers, employees, huh?
Well, they can't be too big, because if they're too big, then they have their own training company.
Okay.
But one of the avenues I'm going to start with are warehouses, because they need a lot of help with how to manage employees. And so I have a friend who is in that comes from that world, and he's going to have lunch with me next week, and he's going to do some coaching.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
because there are some interesting dynamics in warehouses when you have a lot of heavy lifters and then a bunch of people telling the heavy lifters what to do.
Yeah.
Heavy, what the hell do you know? You can't lift this. This is why I'm doing it. Oh, what do these idiots know? They're just lifting heavy stuff. There's a weird dynamic when you come to that kind of environment. Mm-hmm. That'll be fun for you.
Yeah, and I've taught in that kind of thing. And he goes, with warehouses, I didn't know this, but he said with warehouses, you can just walk in. You can just walk in and be like, who's a supervisor? I'm going to talk to you about this. I'm like, you can? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Because that'd be one of those things I'd get a rush out of.
Oh, nice.
Here I am. I taught for a group of miners in Tennessee. I don't remember what they mined, but they were underground, like actual miners.
Not children.
Not children. so they went. So I was scared to death. And then one of the reasons why I was scared to death is they did not want a woman coming to teach. They wanted a man, only a man. And so I was contracting with a company at the time, and I was like, I don't meet this requirement. I don't want to go. They're like, you're going, because we told them we're sending our best for this topic. So you're it. So you're going. So
they were definitely expecting a man.
Yeah. So they, yeah, I love you. So I went with my deepest voice.
Put some socks in your pants and pulled up.
I really hope that is not all it takes for me to look manly.
Well, Groucho mustache, top hat, and a blazer.
I needed your coaching way back then. Oh my gosh, they're making me laugh so hard. All right, so I did everything I could do to prepare. I came a day early and went down into the mine.
By the way, if there's any artists listening out there, can you put that together for us?
I love that. Oh my gosh. But I was ready but I was still scared to death, but I went down there and it was all men and I had a blast with these guys and it turned out I thought about this years later. I don't actually think it was the men that were against having a woman come. I think it was their supervisors thinking these guys would be sexist.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't. They were just cool, like normal people, just like everybody we know. And I had a great time.
They're miners stuck in a cave all day. They can't wait to see a woman.
Maybe I should start speaking at prisons.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there you go. Wonder how well they pay, because I know they'll be happy to see me.
Yes, they will. You'll get all kinds of letters then. Think the stalking was bad at Hy-Vee. Just wait till you get some guys with some funny-looking tattoos hitting you up.
Oh man, and I have my sister and niece both work for prisons, so.
Oh, so you got an in.
Yeah, I got an in, man. I totally do. So yeah, I went and I spoke at a prison for juveniles. Yeah, these guys that were 18.
Oh, there we go, minors.
14 to 18.
Real
for minors.
Minors to minors. There we go.
I actually did speak for minors, yeah. And I just loved these guys. And they were like, pretty hard kind of guys. But all I knew that what I needed to do to get an in with them was show that I cared about them on an individual basis. And so that's what I did. I just tried to get to know them, talk to them, just like they're, my nephew or, and not be intimidated by the fact of where they were or anything. And it was so cool. And I just loved them and they loved me. And I just went for a few times, but they really liked it. So I could see, I wouldn't mind doing that if there was a prison close by, because the closest one is 2 hours away or something.
What, Leavenworth?
Oh, Lansing. How far away is that?
Lansing and Leavenworth. It depends on where you live.
An
hour,
something.
Maybe an hour.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll look at that. I don't know if it pays, but.
And then there's, I guess you want prison, but there's jails here. But jail might be a little different. But there's detention centers, juvenile detention centers.
Yeah, that's true.
That might be a good way,
I might have a whole new career after being on this podcast.
Can really affect some children's lives and get them set in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Susan Harrison said.
Yeah. It would be a side gig, though. I mean, I would like to do it now and then. My main thing I want to do is the confidence coaching for women and then speaking for companies.
I do not know how many companies listen to this podcast. However, I have more female listeners than you might actually think.
Really?
I do. Almost
because you're unattractive?
I think no. I'm going off listens, not
you have
views.
Groupies. You have groupies.
No, not many people watch me. They listen to me.
They know what you look like. They hear you. As they see you, as they hear you. You're stalkers. No, I'm just kidding, ladies that are listening.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He's a little red.
I told you I got sunburned last week. But how can the female base reach out to you, and if they're interested in why don't you tell them exactly what it is you can and do for these women, for this confidence coaching? Like if there's some women out there that are interested, what is it that they're purchasing? Yeah.
So this really is for any woman that feels like she's not good enough. This can manifest itself in lots of ways: over apologizing, second guessing, over explaining. But it can be a ton of different ways. But it all comes from that root of I don't feel like I'm good enough, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I do is I help these women to change some of their thought patterns, and then through actions. And it's really good. And it's also daily coaching. And I know that it's really good. It sounds bad. It's like my thing. Oh, it's really good. But I know that I hear from women even a year after they've went through this and they're like, my life has still changed. I'm still doing these things. So I know it's a proven thing that works. So what it is it's 6 weeks and it's daily coaching except for weekends. I do take weekends off.
Good for you.
Being here with you.
Hey, thanks.
And I take weekends off, and then, but it's every day, and then a half an hour phone call a week, and there's some initial questions, and then for people, anyone that's listening here, I would do it for $800. It's $2,400, but for them, I do it for $800. So
whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
Yeah, which
Whoa.
is a big discount.
That's a giant discount.
Yeah.
I hope one of you ladies are actually thinking about taking her up on it. That would be incredible.
Yeah, well, I figure also your listeners are cool. So
That they are.
Just because of who you
there's
are
there's
and
no
your kind
squares
of podcast,
listening to this.
No, right? And so I like to deal with those kind of women. I mean, that's my favorite. I don't want anyone that thinks they're better than everyone else, and I don't want people that just would, look down on other people. And I guess I'm saying the same thing twice, but that kind of person I'm not really interested in working with. And your people I know are not like that. And so that's why I won't pay them, but if I had the money, I would pay them to let me coach them. I still have to eat, so I have to charge something. But yeah, that'd be fantastic. And they can reach out to me on my website, and it's real easy to remember. It's just drsusanharrison.com.
drsusanharrison.com.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Totally, man. Totally.
What's your Instagram and stuff?
I don't know that stuff off the top of my head. I always have to look.
Yeah, you're not a big Instagrammer. I was wanting to get you back on the show, obviously. And I don't know, you just kind of fell off the face of the earth for me. Like, I haven't seen any posts or anything. You just kind of disappeared. I
started
kind of curious and wondering, you know.
Go ahead. I started going heavier on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I have trouble focusing on more than one at a time for some reason, and I do my own stuff. I do my own stunts, is what it almost sounds like. I do my own stunts, man. And that is actually true. Like, all the stunts I do throughout my life, they're my own. Anyway, so I've been thinking I need to get back on Instagram more, but I do get your messages, but I need to do more posting.
Well, good. I'm glad you're still on planet Earth. You disappeared for a little bit. I was like, I don't know what happened to her. I missed her. I wonder if I did something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was you.
Yeah.
No. No, you're
ran her
totally
off.
awesome.
Ladies, take advantage of that. drsusanharrison.com.
Yeah.
I got nothing more to say.
All right. Well, this was great. Thank you so much for having me back.
Thank you for coming back. We'll do it again.
Yeah. Awesome.
Bye.